Alright guys, welcome to the Little Farmer's Farm with me, Guru Mafinda. Now, I would start filming just as the police helicopter's flying over, wouldn't I? He's looking for somebody. See if you can spot him. He's up there. Anyway, I've just been planting my tomatoes in. Let's check them out. He's coming our way. It's all go down here at the moment, guys. Let's hope he's after the kids that broke Mick's greenhouse yesterday. Right, let's crack on. So here in the tomato house, which is Tiki Tunnel 2 on the Lady Farmer's side, I've just planted all those in. These are all sun gold. We've got sun gold up to there, and then we've got the red plum. 2 red plum on the end, which I'm going to be single stemming up these canes. And these are brand new canes. I got the 60p each off Ken at the shop. But the same principle, into the ground. They've got a little bit of blood, fish and bone, as well as the horse manure. There's a scattering of horse manure on top. Last year, bit of blood, fish and bone. You need the calcium and stuff to prevent splits and cat facing and all that kind of thing. You need to regularly water. So the in-ground watering system, which is the 2 litre pop bottles, plastic pop bottles, have been inserted. I pre-dampened the soil yesterday, give it a good soak, so there's not too much shock then for the root system as they go in. Now hopefully the roots will spread and seek out where the water is underground, and therefore the nutrients as well will be taken up by the plant and it'll grow. I've just got to keep my eye on any side shoots. I think I've taken them off. But you get side shoots that grow in the sort of inner elbow, where the leaf stem comes out. They grow there, and you've got to pluck them out unless you want it to be bushy, which I don't. I want a single stem if I can, going all the way up, tied on with the horticultural tape, going all the way up, trimmed and pruned as they go, so we get nice, neat, straight, beautiful tomato plants. And I had 2 left, so I've got the super sweet 100s there, which I've put in with the cucumbers. Again, the in-ground watering system for that. And them cukes seem okay from yesterday. They always get a little bit of shock where they'll droop a little bit because they've been taken out of the pots and put into the ground. But then again, hopefully the roots will spread below ground level, start spreading the wings, getting the idea, and then you'll get a flourishing crop. Ladybird there. See him? Ladybird. Him or her. Which is always nice to see. That'll keep your pest problems down, your aphids and whatnot. Alright, well the cops have moved on. They're over the hall now, over that way. Must be chasing somebody in a car. You can't run that fast on foot, believe you me. They must have got about 2 miles there in that last 5 minutes. Right. Potatoes! Planting potatoes. The last of the potatoes are going in. We've got a succession. We started the first off in the end of March, beginning of April. And now we're into June the 1st. But we've been planting them over the last sort of 6 weeks or so. So we'll get a succession, hopefully, of spuds. So I just dug that trench with my bare hands, my bare mitts. These mitts. And I've dug down about 10 inches. I put a bit of farmyard manure in the bottom, just a sprinkle. And the same with the blood, fish and bone, a sprinkle. And I'm just going to top them off now, cover them up. So we'll do that. You'll see there that it says Ulster Prince. Ulster Prince. First earlies. But this year they're probably going to be the last earlies, aren't they? Because I'm well late planting them in. It's never too late, really. Well, it is. End of June's far too late, really. But you've got a couple of weeks to get your spuds in our neck of the woods, because the first frost is in November. That's when the first frosts come. And you want your spuds to be done and dusted by then, unless they're indoors in a polytunnel. Some people try and get Christmas potatoes that are fresh and ready on Christmas morning. You can do that if you do them in a polytunnel. The potential is there. Get your first earlies in the back end of summer, August, and you got September, October, November, and they should be ready then for December in a polytunnel. Because you don't want it too hot. You just hope that there's not going to be an Indian summer where you get a really hot back end of the summer, because that's counterproductive for spuds. They don't like it too hot. But they do like them sort of conditions, them sort of warm conditions, but not too hot conditions. It's a fine balancing act. I think they're from the Andes Mountains or something originally, potatoes. I know they're from South America, aren't they, spuds? But now they're here in Eden, in Wigan. So I'm just giving that a good dousing. Wasn't particularly dry, that, but I'll give it a bit of a dousing just to settle them in. And fingers crossed. Good old Mick. Good work, lad. Remember yesterday some kids threw a stone or something over, and it broke that pane there, the big one, and that one there. That one was already out apparently. But yeah, it went through there and went through there. But Mick sorted it out. That polycarb stuff is clear twin wall 6mm polycarbonate. And I favour that. I want to replace all of mine in my greenhouse with that. Because it's much less brittle than glass. Doesn't let quite as much light through as glass does. But it's just better for me. I think it's a lot more robust. Especially when you've got little swines throwing stuff over the wall. Yeah, good job, mate. That's glass there that he's put in. That piece. And the one above it, the triangular section above it. But yeah, he's done the others with the polycarb. Some of you long-time viewers may remember that I built that about 6 or 7 years ago now. I think that was the first construction I built on these plots. And that's clear 6mm twin wall polycarbonate. That greenhouse, 6x8 greenhouse there that I built, a timber one. That's been up now for, I bet it's 7 years. That's when we first came on my plots. That I built that. And he's cleaning out. So it's gonna get tomatoes in it shortly, like. But it's definitely stood the test of time. And I've never had a breakage in there at all, ever. And things have hit it, slates have hit it off the roofs at the back. 2 slates hit that and didn't break it, which for me is a good thing. It used to be quite cheap, the twin wall polycarbonate, but it's not anymore. It's about £6 a sheet, a 4x2 sheet. So to redo that would cost us over 200 quid, I reckon. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think there's 23. It takes 23 to do it. So that's about what, about £150, isn't it, to redo it, and then you've got your timbers. But at the time when we bought these, they were £1.50 for a 6x2 sheet. They were cheap. They've all gone up in price. Everything's gone up in flaming price, hasn't it? But these were cheap at the time, and I think they were a wise investment. Cost me about £40 for them at the time, like. There's the allotment closers. Got 2 on that one. Yeah, these polytunnels are looking okay. But that was the first build I did, the first construction I made. If you go back in the playlists right to the beginning, probably about the 20th one that I put up ish, I were making that, me and our James, and he was only about, I would say 5 or 6 at the time. But yeah, they do work, they're good. I can heartily recommend them. I still can't speak because of this flaming whatever it is, infection that I've got. Brush your teeth, boys and girls, always remember that, twice a day. You've got to do that, otherwise you'll end up like me after years of neglect. Still, nil desperandum. I'm just going to finish off planting up the rest of the spuds now in that pallet bed at the front, and then that's me done. Let's crack on. Alright, so that's the pallet bed right at the front. I'm going to clear that off now and see what's underneath it, and then we'll get some planting done. That's ideal for spuds. That's well stuffed, isn't it? Now, I took a layer of pallet collar off from that when I built the brassica cage, and I used a layer of it, but now it's a bit over full in it of soil. It'll sink down over the months, it should be okay. But that's got 15 spuds in that, 15 seed potatoes for Stirleys. Now in this bed a couple of weeks ago we planted the Saxon spuds and the Charlotte salad potatoes. So Saxon's like a first early, and you've got the Charlotte salad potatoes, again quite a good cropper. So what I want to do now is I'm going to top that bed off, or at least put some more compost in it, another 80 litres of compost in it, because they've started to burst through. The horns have started to come up, or hulms, or whatever they're called. I call them horns. I'm going to stick to horns, the horns of the potato, which are the stems that come up. The potatoes grow off from them and around the seed potato. So I'm going to do that now. I'm going to top it off. That guy's welcome to as many slugs as he wants. Me and our Bradley totally weeded this about 2 weeks ago, and look at the state of the horse's tails. It's a train that never stops on these allotments, that. Yeah, paths are looking nice and clear now. That's what we want, a bit better than was. About 95% horse's tails, that. Or mare's tail. A fern-like creature that infests these plots. That, bindweed, stinging nettles and dandelions are your main ones on here. It's got to keep going, haven't you, with your head down. I've stuck my only 6 sweet corn in there as well, at the side of the dodgy broad beans, which have been battered ferociously by the winds. Shuffling at Shakatash. I feel like Sylvester the cat. And sound like him as well. But yeah, there's a sweet corn in. I've only got 6, so fingers crossed for them. 2 off each, 12 sweet corn, something like that. Now I've heard people say that you can get 5 or 6 cobs off each sweet corn plant, but we've never had that. Must be doing something wrong, or the variety's not correct. There might be different varieties, probably different varieties, isn't there, that produce a bigger crop, a more bumper crop. I'll have to look into it, because we do like sweet corn. And next year we're going to plant all a full bed of sweet corn, so we'll have about 60 sweet corns in. And I might well do that in here to keep the rats and birds off, or to deter the rats and birds. Need to take my amoxicillin, I think. Well guys, that's it for me at the Little Farmer's Farm. Been a nice day today. I know it's getting overcast, it's going to rain shortly, I think, which will save me a job on the watering. It wasn't down for rain, to be honest, so that's why I gave it a drink today. But you know, it can't hurt, can it? A bit more water. Next time on the plots, I'm going to be finishing off the pathways with the decorative bark. I'm going to be putting my peppers in. That's the next job. And basically tending to the plot, carrying on with the weeding. I want it practically weed free. You can't get it 100% weed free, but I want it practically weed free for next week, because I believe next Wednesday is when they do the plot inspections, and I want top marks. In about a month's time, I do believe, it's the plot assessment, which is a competition as to who has the best or prettiest or best maintained, most productive plot. Now the highest we've ever come is 9th out of about 100 on here. We've come 9th before. But this year, I want to get into the top 5. So wish us luck with that, boys and girls. If I get top 5, that'd be ace. I think Mick got something like 2nd and 3rd last year. He's had 2nd and 3rd, definitely. I don't think he's ever had number 1 spot. Old Mac Derby next door, who's just been on, by the way. You've just missed him, Old Mac Derby. He came in when I was sorting out that polytunnel. But yeah, fingers crossed. I wouldn't mind if it was like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, you know. Me, Mick and Joe, but it's only a game, innit? You never know. Opinions are like bumholes. Everybody's got one and they're all different. So it depends upon the judge on the day, doesn't it? And there's some good plots on here. Everybody makes an effort. Take care of yourselves and each other. Remember, we love you all. You've been beautiful, fantastic and fragrant if you're a lady. If you're a gentleman, you've been forthright, masculine and virile. And if you've been something in between, you've been something in between. But we love you all, as long as you're a good person. Take care of yourself. Keep growing with your heads down. And have a great week. Bye-bye.